allowing me to share. Thank you for the platform.
No problem at all. Uh, let's see here. Confronting questions, guys, and that's something that I've really gotten a lot better at these days. When you look at putting a person, I say holding a person's feet to the fire, asking people real questions that matter. For me, like if I see somebody who's looking at an opportunity, let's just say Novalink, one of our newest opportunities, from the Fund Smart Chain, and they have the money, because they remember it's inexpensive to get in. They have the money, and so money is not a problem. I know the money is never ever a challenge. If it's $100 to get started, that's not the challenge. And so, if I'm asking him, hey Tim, let me ask you a question. You saw the video last week, and you told me you had a goal of making at least $5,000 a month, and I know you have $100 or $500, 1,000. I know you have all that. What's stopping you? What's keeping you from moving forward? And so that's a challenging question. That's a confronting question. That's one of those questions that now I get a chance to, make you, activate, from a standpoint of now I get, because most people, they go through the motions of watching stuff and then going on with their life, and so it's just a natural occurrence. And so it's like breathing, they do it without even thinking. And next thing you know, you reminded them, you know what, you're right. I haven't said anything, or I haven't, taken it serious, or I did get distracted, or whatever it is. And all right, let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up then. Or one of those questions, one of my favorite questions, hey Jacques, was you serious when you said you wanted to fire your boss, or were you just joshing? And so, hey, and so just come up. These are the questions, and these questions vary. Yes, and you can look at each individual and create unique questions, for them. And so that's the one thing that before I do a phone call, especially a follow-up phone call, I'm going to sit down and prepare, because it's an open book text. When I'm talking to somebody of value, I'm always taking notes. I'm always on my laptop, on my iPad, and I'm always in my notes on my phone section. And I have key bullet points per person, so when I go back to that person, I'm going to bring that information back up. Right. That's why I collected it. It's intel. Right. And so in the military, we call it intel. That's basically what it is. If you're going to go to war, you're going to go to battle, you're going to go to work, you need intel. And you lose battles, wars, and opportunities when you're misinformed. And so that's important. But like I said, make it a safe place. So let me ask you a question, Laura. I know it's the first of the month, and everybody normally pay their bills around about the first. And I know this is something that you were very passionate about. Is money the challenge? Because if it is, let me know. That's between me and you, and I know how to help you from that point going forward, right? And Laura said, you know what? Yeah, I just paid mortgage, and then I just paid the mortgage on the rent on my buildings and on my property, and this is the worst time of the month for me. So well, Laura, I get that. I know you own the block. You know what I'm saying, but can you at least do $100 a day so you can make sure that you get your position, moving and activated? Oh yeah, I can do $100. Okay, great. So I'm making it a safe place for her to open up and communicate with me as well. I'm letting her know that you're not the only person that had these challenges. There's no reason to be embarrassed. And so it doesn't matter. Like especially when people who've been in the industry, people who got a lot of their money tied up in different platforms or different investments or whatever it is. Let them know that you're not the only person out there. It's fine. Yeah. And then staying focused. And that's the thing. One of the things that I was impressed with is how a lot of you guys, when we actually have different platforms that we're looking at, how patient people are, and I'm looking at the preparation during the launches, between the launches, and again how you guys are really showing the emotional sophistication that's needed to be successful in investing. And so again, not just for Tim, like I said, staying focused, not being distracted, but I'm impressed, with you all, those of you who are out there watching as a whole, when people are listening to us and talking to us, as leaders from other companies, they're marveling at you guys, like with the new platform Novalink, that's the marketing company for Fund Smart Chain. The people who are heading that project over there, when they did the call with the leaders, and they really saw how the leaders were dedicated. They didn't have anybody jumping off and jumping on. People were participating in everything. They were impressed with you guys. And so, but that's what, this environment does. It cultivates leadership. And I'm excited about that and proud about that, guys. You represent well. Laura, what's up, Ms. Jones? What you got for us?
Good morning, Crash Camp. I hope I'm able to express what I'm really feeling and what I've learned this week. Well, I have been, because it all comes together. We are listening to you in the Millionaire Mindset Call, Mr. Bean, and that starts off our week powerfully. And then we're going into the modules. So this week I was studying in Mastering Objections. I don't know if you could see that, but that's I printed out the ebook. And so, the steps to determine if it's valid or invalid. But the biggest thing that hit me was, of course, that we are the creators of our own objections. So if we have buy-in on a particular objection, then, that's an objection that we will experience over and over again. So in this new environment where we're moving forward with new projects, one of the things you said, Mr. Bean, on the Millionaire Mindset Call was that we have to launch from two positions. Position that it's going to go away in 60 to 90 days, and the position that it will be around forever. And so, to be able to do that, you have to have your own fears and doubts and objections under control. And so the way, we're going to experience them, we're going to have the fears and doubts, but the way we get them under control is through action, And so Seth had said one day that do the daily success actions despite the results. So that means to, divorce ourselves from, the past and the experiences, because like you just said, Mr. Bean, when we look at it in the big picture, we are elevated. We have moved forward. We're not at the same level. I am not at the same level that I was before I became a part of this investment group. And I've experienced gains and I've experienced losses. But if I were to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, then I would say I'm much higher than when I started out. I might have been a 3 when I started. I might be a 5 or 6 now.
Yeah. I'm going to say if you're the same person, after 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, of doing business with us, either we did something terribly wrong or you did something terribly wrong. There's no way, you are supposed to be able to come in here and not add value to your life, period. And so that's the powerful thing about, having these type of groups, these type of organizations. And, look at what you was talking about, you create your own, objections, again, our own fears, sometimes they're not always internalized. They're a lot of times they're expressed, outside and not just verbally. You show people what you think, you show people what you believe, right? And that's what people buy. From the moment you pick up the phone, and send that very first text, or you get them on the phone and have that very first PS5 conversation, format process go through. They are looking at you and listening to you and gauging you on a scale of 1 to 10, on 0 to 10, actually, where you really are, and your belief in the situation. So, like Laura said, anything that comes out, anything that you get back, basically is what you're inviting. You're saying, hey, it's almost like you're telling them, like you're whispering the answer. You ask them a question, say, hey, say this. Say, I'm scared of losing money. Hey, say this, right? And so, but that's kind of what you're doing, right? Just say I have no time, and so you basically, it's self-sabotaging, all the way around. And so that's the thing, again, that's important. And but don't buy into it. The other thing is that when you have people who, and the thing about it is that when you hear what a person says, 2 things should happen. You should reflect and ask yourself, whoa, did I internalize that? Even if you didn't, but just say, whoa, did I internalize that? Did I push that on that person? And the second thing is this: don't buy in, like Laura said, don't buy into it. Okay, address it. Okay, don't push back from a standpoint of attacking it. It's valid. Whatever they give you is valid to them. At that point in time, address it. And what you do is you make sure it becomes a non-issue. Yeah, and so time. I mean, Doc, what do you need time for? I don't understand. This is not about time. Money. Oh, okay. So Doc. Doc, I'm Doc. I'm talking to you, Doc. We're talking about $100, Doc. Okay, so just bring it back to a person. Make sure that you address it. We're talking about $1,000, Doc. We're talking about $5,000, Doc. It's not about money to you, Doc. What is it, Doc? Talk to me. Because these people for the most part. You should know something about them. Not to use against them, but to make sure you know who you're talking to. And the most important thing is that most of us don't know who's doing the talking. So a lot of us don't know ourselves well, within these processes. You live with yourself your whole life, but when it comes to this situation, a lot of us haven't taken, self-inventory and say, you know what, who am I, while I'm presenting this opportunity to people. Okay. So manage the self-talk, guys. So that's strong. And so and I'm gonna just say something also. I was just talking to me and Kim was just having a conversation with somebody yesterday who they were one of our senior partners in one of the platforms, and I was like, hey man, I really appreciate you guys allowing us to sponsor you guys, because you don't understand, your group helped me do some amazing things. Your group was more than 70% of the volume in our organization. And he said, my mom, her house hadn't been renovated since she bought the house in 80 in Florida. And the house has been renovated since 90 between 90 and 93. And he said, based on what we did and what you guys were doing, and how much volume you guys pushed and how much production you guys pushed, I was able to spend at least $175,000 to get my mom's house renovated, and that's a beautiful thing. Again, it's a thing. There are a lot of things being done. A lot of people who are putting themselves in a position to win and taking full advantage of opportunities. When those opportunities are there for them, they're winning. Okay, and so that's the thing, you guys. That's what I tell you guys, when I say you have to build it, so I can put it into context. We don't gamble. Okay? That's why it took us so long to find a company that was actually worthy of building. We don't gamble. If we thought this was going to be actually be around for 90 days, we wouldn't be doing it. But it's the mentality. Like you have to. I treat every company that I do, whether it's network marketing or not, right? And network marketing companies, most of them don't go out of business. Right. And so, but I treat every last one of them like they are. I got to make as much money as I can in these first 90 days. That's my goal. That's a priority. That's a mindset. And I need you guys to get this part. This is where you should go back and listen to this, write this down, journalists or whatever it is. But if you start right, you finish right. Yeah. If you start with momentum, you won't finish in a deficit. Okay. If you start with your rolling, running, gunning, and you doing what you're supposed to do for the first 90 days, guys, there's no way that you should actually lose a dime and nothing. But that's how you build it. You run for 90 days, and I got to get as much as I can in 90 days. But while you're doing it, the structure is important, because while I'm building it like it's going to go out of business in 90 days, I'm also building it like it's going to be around here forever. Right? And that's the thing, that's important. So you don't build it recklessly, you build it, for sustainability. Building it like it's going out of business in 90 days doesn't mean you throw it all up against the wall and see what sticks. No, you take it all through the process. You take them all through the system, because the people who you're putting in, okay, those people are going to be the people who help you keep this thing going and growing, for the long term. Remember, the speed at which you build will determine the speed at which your team builds. the rate of how fast it takes for you to get your money back will determine how fast it takes your team to get their money back. The speed of the group has always been dictated by the speed of the leader, right? And you guys are the leaders. So if you can get your money back in a week, your team get theirs back in 2. You get your money back in a month, your team get theirs back in 2 months. You get yours back in 2 months, and then it's going to take your team 3 to 4 months to get theirs back, right? And so you want to ask yourself, not how fast do I want my money back? How fast do I want my team to be in the black? Because that's one thing me and my wife talk about all the time is the team. From the first company to this company, it's always the team. So it's good stuff. Thank you, Laura. Mr. Sekou, you're next. You're next. What you got for us this morning? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bean. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I was watching the sales process modules on Grant Cardone, and so he was going through the steps of attitude, greeting, fact-finding, appraisal, selection, demonstration, trial close, write-up, negotiation, close, deliver, and follow-up. And he said, and then also you mentioned some mistakes to avoid. Make sure you practice your process. Know the purpose of each step in the sales process. Don't skip steps because you lose money when you skip steps. So those are the things that I got from the start of the sales process modules, and I still have more to go through.
Yeah, you said don't skip. This is the thing, guys. Though, trust the process. Don't skip steps. From a people who make millions and billions of dollars, they put processes in place, and those processes all have steps, and the people who follow those steps are the people who get the bag, right? And so if you don't take a step, you never get to the actual result. If you skip a step, you end up off the path, and you end up going away from the game, going away from your prize, or you shorten or you lengthen your process. Now I have to start over in the process because I skipped a step, or now I got to go back and do this because I skipped a step, and trying to take the shortcut. But you can't teach shortcuts. That's just the thing. People who teach shortcuts, guys, I can tell you, be very wary of. If a person is teaching you shortcuts and teaching you how to go out here and win without going through the actual process, without going through the system, without going through the steps, that's a person you should be worried about. Right? That person has a character issue. And so that person wants something for nothing. The person has the microwave mentality. That person cares nothing about your money. That person wants you to go make as much money as possible so you can bring it back to them. So for me, I'm here for the long haul. I don't care anything about, because if you look at this industry, this is a reckless industry for a lot of people. Again, when you see people going in, they tell people put everything they got in that. This is a sure thing. That's going to happen to this thing, and that's out of line. That's the same type of person. Like Mom said, if you lie, you'll steal. If you steal, you'll kill. And so it's like you think lying is something simple. It's not that bad, but it leads to something worse. So it's the same thing with skipping steps is not just making it easier. Basically you're basically showing people that you're not a person that can be trusted. If I can't trust you to follow the system, it's not a whole lot else I can trust you with. And so that's why when we look at these platforms and stuff, you don't see a lot of diversity, because there are a lot of people who have agendas when they serve. There are a lot of people who just want to serve because they want the spotlight. You got a lot of people who want to serve just because they want their team to see them, or whatever it is, but they don't want to go through the process and serve. They just want to go and serve for their own agenda. And so when you see that, I don't care how skillful a person is, you address it. You address it. That person either doesn't serve the platform, or that person gets it together, and then that person can have access to it. But I don't deal with people who skip steps. Not from a leadership perspective. Anybody can be in a group, but everybody can't be a leader. So I appreciate you, Sekou.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Right. Out of Jacksonville, Florida, none other than Leslie Johnson. What's going on, Leslie?
Great morning. Today's the best day of my life. Happy to be here.
I like that. Oh, stop. I like that. I just want you to know that I like that. It's the best day of my life. I like that. Oh my! I had to still let my day. Somebody, how you doing? I'm super fantastic. It's the best day of my life.
Super fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Bean, for allowing me to share. And I'm so happy for my angel investor, Ms. Laura Johnson, who thought it worth it to put me back in the program. Anyway, well, I know I did a little work, but I know I can do more. I can improve. But I'm so happy and grateful for all that I heard. I just want to share, highlight on the Monday night millionaire call when you talked about the 12 habits of elite builders or earners. And you just said it a few minutes ago about structure. And this is what I'm working on. And I know I seek leadership as well. I seek counsel. The importance of structure, you said, allows me to sustain my lifestyle. I said, boy, that's powerful right there. Structure allows me to sustain my lifestyle. That was number 3, I think. And number 7, talking about being the master promoter. And I said, this is a habit that I need to enhance and to improve. You know, as I campaign for my leaders and promote what's actually I have my hand on. So I thank you for allowing me to share as I continue to work on getting better. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And I can say right now, you got a lot of people over in the chats on Facebook saying it's the best day of my life. I love it. Yeah, they're gonna steal that lesson. So going back over to the Millionaire Mindset call and the structure. Structure allows you to take the rest of your life off. Period. Okay, that a structure gives you a peace of mind. When things go bump in the night, structure takes care of it for you. It comforts you, right? And that's the thing is like right now, we have so many different irons in the fire, but they're in good fire. It's like we literally have money coming in from probably about 11 different streams of income, right? And that's important because when things slow down, stop, or go away, you have enough, sustainable income coming in to buy you time, so you can either replace it or buy you time for it to come back up or, to bounce back, whatever it is. But that structure, without
Recording in
I just want to have
progress.
enough money so I can take the rest of my life off. Enough stuff in my portfolio where I can live while I'm alive. Right. And that's what structure, foundation, and systems do for you. Right. And promoting, when you look at promoting, let's see, this is the thing that you can add this feather to your cap here. Most people think promoting is just about you pitching your company. No, promoting is why you guys are here today, because we're promoting the benefits of the Grant Cardone program, right? Promoting is the reason why you actually have, an angel investor, like a, Miss Johnson, or Miss George, all these other people who have paid their way, so other people can have access, but that doesn't happen if I don't promote the benefit to the angel investors on why, it works. If I don't promote it, you're not here, or another person who can't afford it, they're not on Facebook and they're missing it, right? Or if I don't promote the Millionaire Mindset call, you don't get those nuggets. Promoting has everything to do with putting a person in the best position possible. It doesn't have, promoting is not putting yourself in the best position, best profitable position. It's putting the people where they need to be and putting them in the best position possible. So when I promote, it's going to be for your best benefit. Not for you to watch me do the Millionaire Mindset call, okay, or to watch me do, this call here today. It's for you to get in there and learn some stuff that'll change your life. And if I don't promote, for you to be here, then it's my fault that you miss it. It's not your fault, Leslie. It's my fault. If you're not here, you don't get it. It's my fault, not yours. That's why, again, I put so much emphasis and weight on promoting and how you communicate with people, because when you do it wrong, you cost them money. We want you to do it wrong because that's the only way you learn, but do it wrong now so you can learn in an environment that'll help you correct it, so you don't make that many mistakes. You can actually go back and apologize. And the person comes back and says, you know what? I'm gonna jump on that Millionaire Mindset call and see what you guys got. Or I'm gonna get in that Facebook group and see what you guys got, or I'm gonna go ahead and, whatever it is, become the master promoter. Right? Don King, you hear about all the greatest promoters in the world. Right? Don King had a fighter the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, who couldn't fight in America. He convinced people to go to Africa to watch this man fight. We ain't talking about HBO, ESPN. We ain't talking about all that stuff. All that wasn't out there, right? And this man got people to go around the world to Africa to watch Muhammad Ali fight. So when everybody else is saying nobody will do that, he's saying you crazy. They will, and they'll pay top dollar for it. They get to come to Africa. They get to come to the motherland. They get to watch the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, fight. They get to, and he goes into the get to mode. They get to mode. It's a benefit, right? The experience and everything. Who will be able to say that they got a chance to see Muhammad Ali fight in Africa? That's a once in a lifetime thing, and you need to be there to see it. You know what I'm saying? So promoting is guys. I'm gonna just say promoting when I didn't know how to speak. Promoting when I didn't know what to train or how to train or what company I was in. Promoting has always been the thing that helped me make money, helped me build teams, helped me get my people in a position where, they can be impacted by the information from people who they really respect. Right? And so that promoting thing, don't sleep on it. I'm glad you brought that up. All right. Dr. George, good morning. Good morning. Where you calling in from today? I know you coming in from a hotel somewhere. Where you doing a seminar? Or you training some people? What you got going on this morning?
I'm in Maryland. Go figure. Home in my PJs at that. I'm still in my. I don't mind being on camera in my PJs because my PJs say dream big. I even sleep dream big.
About. Love it.
So thank you, sir, for this platform. Thank you for your leadership, you and the lovely, gorgeous Mrs. Bean. And my takeaway was actually from Millionaire Mindset, that you covered the 7-figure brand. And in that you said that, and I wrote it in first person. I said, I am going to build my personal brand on purpose. Or you said, I will build my personal brand by neglect. And you also said some brands are a part of a person's identity, and it's hard to discredit a brand. So this week I was interfacing with different investors, and one of them said, "Well, I really want to pull my money out." And I was very transparent, because that's one of the things about the brand of Novalink. They've come forward with transparency. And I said, right now, no one's getting their money out. And I was very transparent and straightforward with that. And he said, okay. He said, fine. How are we going to handle this? I said, how we're going to handle this is we're going to wait for some official announcements. I said, I will keep you updated like I have been doing. And as soon as there's the ability to be able to get some of your money out, you will be the first person that I call. Yeah. It was building my brand on purpose, purposely being that person who is transparent, purposely being that person of integrity, and purposely being that person who communicates, so that regardless of what I refer when it comes to a platform, they understand what they get when they deal with me as a brand. Thank you, sir.
Oh, that's like music to my ears right there, boy. Because that's who you have to be. You can't be a seven. I said, there are no rich cowards. You can't be, a 7-figure person, skirting the issues. You can't. be running and ducking and hiding your way to a fortune. It don't work like that. And when you behave that way, on the heels of a decision that the company has to make, and then you have something that turns around and pops up and also becomes an amazing source of revenue, that person is still thinking about the last conversation that they tried to have, but you send them a text message, I'll call you back, and you never did. And or when they had a conversation with you, you were hemming and hawing and didn't give them a direct, answer, and they remember that. So now I'm not going to join you twice. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. And so that's a brand. Like when you look at me and my wife, like I said, and this is the thing, this just has nothing to do with me and my wife, but has everything to do with the brand. You didn't know us. We didn't invite you to any of this, period. And so what made you get started with us?
I stalked you guys. No. I actually followed the ATM. I followed you. I got into the ATM and I followed you all in the ATM. And as I followed you all in the ATM, I've begun to see your character. I looked at the way you communicated with the group. I looked at the way you handled tough situations. I looked at your recommendations. I looked at the fact that you and your wife put the team first in so many things. And that's what drew me to Foresight Business Academy and to you and Mrs. Bean.
Well, I appreciate the validation, because that's exactly what we look for. That's exactly what we built the brand for. That's our brand. And so that's the thing that people are supposed to think about me when they think about me. And so, because I worked hard for that, I put in, I've had those conversations with people, right? I've had those tough conversations. I've had those counseling moments with people, and I've been on both sides of the table where people didn't have them with me, and where people were less than integrous, when it came to communicating with me on different things. As a matter of fact, our first, because I was a little naive, and our very first, opportunity with Novalink, just being transparent. And, at a moment when, because I didn't know any better, when I should have been taking out most of my money, and following my instinct, I followed somebody's lead, who was never my leader, but they just happened to be in a leadership position, at the time that I joined the company. And they said, well, I'm actually doubling down. He says, I'm actually putting more money in, or I'm actually leaving my money in and so I did the same exact thing. Okay. And so instead of getting $225,000 out, I would have had about $400,000 out, but I doubled down and didn't get nothing else out of that. So instead of, pulling it out, like I had planned on doing, I got stuck. And so, but that person gave me that advice and what they told me he was doing based on his fear of losing his team, because it was the most money that the person ever made, before, and they didn't want to see it all go away and everybody poured all their money out. But that, again, that's not leadership. That's individualism. And so for me, I'm like, I don't care. I tell y'all, pull your money out every day. If it's an everyday platform, pull your money out every day, And so I live with my wife. I'm telling her, look, pull your money out every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking to her like literally, hey babe, pull your money out every day. Well, when I want to wait, till I get to, babe, pull your money out, pull the money out, pull the money out. And so it's just like, I don't need your money to make money. Okay. I need you to make money so I'm happy. That's what I need. I need you to make money, get that money out of there and win. That's what makes leaders happy. And so again, because the thing about people who know how to create, when we go back to the Millionaire Mindset call, and I talked about the masters at creating, and so again, when you know how to create, you don't need anybody else to create it for you. Your only job is to teach and collect at that time. Hopefully you're the prototype, you're doing it, you're building it the way it's been designed to be run. And when you're doing it and they're watching you being a prototype, remember, that's the only way you can really teach a person. Yeah, some people who will listen, they'll sit in on it, but when they see you actually do it, practice it, teach it, that's when they actually learn it. And that's when they pick it up. Okay. And so that's why when you look at these platforms, and I build so fast and I blow it up right away, I'm making sure, one, I get as much of my money out of here as possible while I'm teaching y'all to do the same exact thing. Okay. And so, but that's the brand. And so that's one thing that people may say, well, he's not going to give you advice based on how much money he can make off of you. He's going to give you advice based off of what your scenario requires. And that's the thing. If that's all my brand will ever be, that's all I need. Okay. So that's good stuff, Doc. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Tell your sister I say hi. No. Okay. All right. So we got some good stuff here, guys. This is a really, really good way to start off the day. And man, y'all got some good stuff going on in Facebook too. They loving what you guys are talking about up here. All right. And so they talking about your PJs, Doc. Hey, Carlo in. There you go. All right. Hey, love them PJs, boy. So let's see here. Let's go, Laura. Can you start us off with the PS5 process? I want to start with one of my heavy hitters this morning.
Thank you, Mr. B.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. If we can get a volunteer, Tim. Okay, there you go, Tim. So if you can reach out to Tim and hit old Tim up, see if we get him on in one of these projects we own.
Okay. So Tim, we're this is going to be one of the first times I'm looking to I'll just do 𝐲𝐿 because
You know, which
Okay.
is doing fine, by the way. I'm loving, man. Look, I'm loving them returns. I'm loving them 1%. It's different. You know, it's amazing how fast we lose appreciation for something that should be appreciated. You know, right?
Yes.
Because you go from, again, everybody talks about in the presentation, you know, how the banks don't pay you less than 1% a year, and then you go to a company that's 3% a week, and then you get to a company 1% a day, where people making $1,000 a day, and you get so spoiled and so conditioned to that fast, big money that when things slow down and you have to go back and rely on one of your projects, and that project makes you a measly 1% a day, you don't get excited no more. It's like you got it good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got it good. So I like to have that. I mean, if you think you got it bad with that, yeah, leave this country and go look at some other places out there. So
Ooh.
go ahead, Laura. You and Tim do your thing.
Okay, here we go, Tim. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Good morning, Tim. This is Laura.
Hey, Laura. Happy Friday.
I am doing well, Tim. Actually, that's one of the reasons I'm calling you. I don't have a lot of time. Do you have about 5 minutes to give me right now?
Yeah, I gotta take my dog out for a walk real quick. But sure, I got a few minutes.
Oh, absolutely. Don't worry. We're not going to let Fido wait too long. Hey, listen, you have your phone? Zoop. I just sent you something.
Hey, what's this?
Tim, this is the returns that I have been getting in a project that I've been involved with, and I am earning 1% a day, 6 days a week. And what that actually means, Tim, is that my money actually replaces itself in as little as 2 months. So, Tim, let me ask you a quick question.
2 months?
2 months, Tim. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you have anything like that in your portfolio that is replacing your money in such a short period of time?
No, I don't have nothing like that. What do I gotta do to have something like that?
Absolutely. That's a great question. Well, I know you don't have time right now, but I'd like to send you some information that we can review, and you can look and see if it fits into your portfolio, and we can show you that. But Tim, let me ask you something. How soon, if it was absolutely necessary, could you get your hands on $10,000?
Ooh, that's gonna take me a minute to get 10,000. Get my hands on 10K. Maybe a couple months.
Okay. Awesome. So listen, Tim, let me just show you what $10,000 can do for you in this platform. Let me just show you what $10,000 can do for you in this
Hold on,
platform.
look, Laura, is this real?
Tim, it's absolutely real. Let me send you another screenshot. Zoop.
Hey, what's this?
Okay, this is a screenshot of one of my senior investors, what they are earning in this same platform. Now, Tim, let me just ask you, if you were able to double your money in as short a period of time as 2 months, what would you do? What would you do? What would you use that money for?
Hold on 1 second, Laura. Sorry, Laura, had to lock up Fido. He can go to the bathroom in a few minutes. Let's do this. What I got to do? What you got to show me?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Listen, jump on this Zoom link and we're going to go through a presentation right now. It's a short presentation, but it'll give you all the information that you need to be able to make a good decision. So jump on this Zoom link and we'll take it from there.
Excellent. Let's do it.
Okay, wonderful. Mr. Bean, it's yours.
This is good stuff. Like I said, that's the thing, guys. The practice, you can tell Laura has been practicing this thing and going through this thing over and over and over again. That's why I asked her to be first, real smooth, real fluid, even with Fido running all over the place, she kept the composure and stayed on point. And that's the most important thing. Don't get distracted. Be on purpose 100% of the time, right? And it don't matter what goes on in Tim's life, she's going to find out how serious he is about business. Right? She's going to make sure he has all the right information. She's taking him through all the right steps. She's getting all she's going to put him on a video and she's going to go from there. But most people don't know how to have a conversation about business. Most people haven't been trained, right? And it's just like no other script. A script is created, so you can know what to say, because most people don't know what to say. Like I said, not just know what to do, but scripts teach you what to say. And then at some point in time, the script, you put your personality and character on the script. And then at some point in time, you become the script without a script. And therefore, you'll never need a script again, because now you know how to have these conversations. It don't matter what platform you're on. Well, the PS5 is the script for the process, right? And so for me, I can wake up and launch a company with no problem, 24 days, 7 days a week without thinking about it, because that's what I do. I've been through the script a million times. I know how to take a person from start to finish with no problem, in this PS5 process without it going through the PS5 bullet points, because I went through this script so many times with people, this conversation so many times with people, this process so many times with people. And so when you do that, right, it puts you in a position of power and a position of, appreciation, with your teams. So because they see that you now know something that they don't. They see that you've committed to mastering something that they haven't. They know for a fact that you can help them get their people from point A to point Z, and they can't. Okay. And so that's the thing that you have to be, to them. You have to be the example. You have to be the prototype. You got to be that. You got to do this thing. You got to go through the PS5 process. Guys, remember, we've been doing the PS5 forever. It didn't start here, in investing. We were doing this back in network marketing. This works in all platforms. It's a process. That's all it is, right? And so it just evolves, with the platform, and the conversation again evolves with your evolution. The more and more you do it, the better and better you learn. More and more you learn from it, the better you become at it, and you become the expert. And people can, when they hear you, again, they're impressed. Then they hear you, they're confident, they believe you, and they'll do business with you. Oh yeah, because if Laura's when Tim gets started, this is what Laura gets to do, guys, and this is where the magic of it all happens. Because remember, we talk about structure, we talk about building something, the foundation of something that will pay you forever. Well, when Tim gets started, Laura says, "Okay, Tim, how fast do you want to make that $5,000 a month?" And Tim says, "Right away." And so Tim, can you follow a simple set of instructions without deviating from the plan? Yes. Okay. Well, Tim, this is what we're going to do. Exactly what I did to you. Okay. I'm going to take you through a process. It's called a PS5. And when I take you through this process, what's going to happen is you're going to recognize the whole entire conversation that we had. It was scripted, Tim. And so it's not, that's why you're going to succeed. If you can follow a simple set of instructions without deviating from the plan, you'll do exactly as I did, which is this PS5 program. And guys, that's how it happens. And Tim, all of a sudden he learns it and he calls Jacques. And all of a sudden when he calls Jacques, Jacques gets started. And he asks Jacques the same thing. And all of a sudden you're 2 or 3 and 4 levels deep of everybody doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So you're solid on all levels. Like in football, you have the line of scrimmage. And so on defense, give an example on defense, line of scrimmage, you got the defensive line. That's the first line of defense. The linebackers are the next line of defense. And then you have the secondary, the safeties, and then the cornerbacks. They're the third line of defense. You got 3 lines of defense, right? And if everybody's doing their job and everybody's learning the system the same exact way, nobody gets a touchdown because you're solid all the way through. So when you actually have your first line, second line, third line, solid and doing exactly the same thing, everybody's profitable. Everybody's winning, right? There's no losing. There's representation leadership on every level, right? Which means that you don't have to be the leader 100% of the time for everybody. If Laura's not teaching Tim the PS5 without him knowing that she's teaching him the PS5, right, which is the magic of it all, it complicates things. When she lives the PS5 and then she goes back and says, hey, look, this is what I did to you, right? You think you're a pretty smart guy, Tim? Yeah. Okay, well, great. You should. So if that'll work on you, you think it'll work on somebody else? Yes. Okay, great. 2 levels, 5 levels, 7 levels, when it comes to these programs, the deeper down in depth that you can duplicate, again, the more secure financially you'll be. It's hard for something to come and destroy something that's built to last, right? So when you think about tropical places, right? A lot of places that you go to, like in Mexico or in areas where they have like Dominican Republic, places where they have a lot of tornadoes or hurricanes or whatever, they don't build with wood. The walls are concrete. They build concrete, right? And they build it, they don't come down. They build them to last, right? Here in America, we use wood, right? And those countries, they use concrete. The whole entire house is concrete. And then they turn around and they put all the beautiful touches, around it. And they paint the concrete. They put floors on the concrete, marble floors on the concrete, right? And then they drill holes in the wall and put little hooks in there so you can hang your pictures, but it's concrete. It's solid, right? It's built to last. Build your portfolios to last. Okay. All right. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. Pajama Queen. All right. PS5. There you go. PS5 time. I need you to find your PS5 and come through with a conversation. You pick somebody. Who wants to go with Dr. George? Jacques. I was going to say Jacques like he's trying to unmute over there. So Jacques, we got Jacques coming to the line. There we go. Good morning.
All right. Am I calling Jacques? Is Jacques calling me?
You calling Jacques. I need you to call Jacques.
All righty. All righty. You ready, Jacques?
I'm ready.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Jacques.
Hi, Jacques. It's Arlene.
Well, hello, Arlene. Good to hear.
Do you have a couple of minutes?
Absolutely.
Great. The reason for my call is that I'm with an investment club, and I'm about to send you something. You have your phone handy?
I do.
All right. Swoop. I just sent you a screenshot. Did you get it?
Wow. What's this?
That is a screenshot of my profits over the last 30 days that I've been with this company. I'm making 1% daily, 6 days a week. And I'm absolutely excited. And I thought about you.
Well, I'm really glad you did. That looks incredible.
Yes. Do you have a couple more minutes for me?
Absolutely.
Good. I'm going to send you another link. It's a Zoom link. We're going to jump on Zoom, and I'd like to share with you a quick video to give you a little bit more information.
Okay.
Good.
Got it.
All right. So we've gotten on the Zoom. We've watched the video. John, tell me, what did you like best about what you saw?
Well, I like the way that he built that his team and with his family, and everybody got seemed to be making more and more money. I mean, it looks absolutely incredible. I'd like to know a little bit more about this.
Yes, family is very important. So tell me, at 1% a day, what would you do with your money doubling in 2 months? What would you do with your family? Because I heard family, the fact that you could have a team of family members making money together was important to you.
It is absolutely. I'm building a portfolio right now, and this would definitely add to it.
Excellent, excellent. And what would you do with the money from that portfolio, that 1% a day?
I know what it is. I'm a little bit older than most here, Dr. George, and I'm working to make sure that my wife of 64 years is well taken care of should I pass in the next few years.
I like it. I like it. I like it. And John, taking care of a loved one after you pass on, I know from experience that not having to worry about finances while you're grieving that person is important. How much money would it take for you to feel comfortable that if anything happened to you, your wife would be taken care of?
It's a very big number.
Okay. How big of a number?
2 million.
2 million. And how close are you to that number right now?
Not very close at all.
Not very close at all. So this 1% a day would get you closer to that 2 million, and then building that team of people would get you closer to that 2 million, that you would have peace of mind that if anything happened to you, your wife would be taken care of, correct?
Absolutely.
Great. Now let me ask you another question, John. How much can you, if you had to get your hands on 10,000 right now, and that 10,000 in 2 months becomes 20,000, and then 2 months from that it becomes 40,000, how quickly could you get your hands on $10,000?
A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks? Okay. Have you seen enough for you to say, I want to get this 1% going for me and move forward with an investment?
I have.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and get you started. And then in 2 weeks, we'll get you started with the full 10,000.
Got it. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Boy, that's what I'm talking about. Good stuff, good stuff. Again, back to back, nice examples of what we need to see and what we need to hear. Again, always the reason for my call, when you get started, send a social proof. Again, the normal stuff, right? This is the good stuff. And so the thing that I would say is don't ask for extra time once you've already bought it. Right? And so once you got time, right? Once you got the time, he gave you time already. When you showed him that screenshot and you heard his excitement, his energy, that already bought you time. So continue to assume that you have more time and continue to add value, through that conversation. So you'll never have to ask for time. Okay. That's when that part, guys, again, because we're all taught, and groomed to be courteous and respectful of people's time and everything else. And so you're respecting people's time as long as you're adding value to it. If they get a return in value, you're respecting their time. So you got the permission once, don't ask for it again. Okay. Also, just going back to what would you do with the money? Hey, what would you do with the money? And then when he gave you the answer, you was empathetic with it, right? And that's the thing that, empathy is, hey man, look, I don't know what's going on, with her. Is she all right or not? Or you just want to take care of her? But that's admirable. So let's go ahead and get that done. Let's go ahead and move forward. Let's go ahead and get that done. So security of the spouse, address it with empathy, resolution. Okay, so the quantify the number, right? And so how much would that take? And then he gave you a broad number. It's a lot. It's a big number. Okay, we'll go. Let's make it real. Quantify it. Give me a specific number, because a large number is not a goal. Okay, like one day is not on the calendar. That's not a day of the week, right? And so, when you look at that, quantify the number. And so, how close to you are? How close to that number are you? Okay? And that's the reality I was talking about earlier. I'm a little ways off. That's no problem. A lot of us are, but that's why we're talking. So we can all get closer to and achieve, the numbers that we really need to hit. Okay. And I totally believe that this is the thing that can get you there. Okay. And so here's your solution. Okay. And so that was great. Just great call, 2 back-to-back great calls. PS5 processes, guys. And again, you're looking at people who are going through these processes. They're going through the PS5, and that's why when you're a leader and you're doing this, you become better at it, because you're helping people and your team go through it. One thing about Laura is, like, you always hear Leslie, or you always hear Carla, or you always hear somebody in her team talking about how much they practice role play, how much she harps on it, or whatever it is. One thing about it, I never have to worry about Laura, is her making sure that she's promoting the actual system in the process. Okay. And so again, and just that's how Doc is wired anyway. So I said, you guys, great jobs. And so who wants to role play anything and everything? Lance Green. Oh, go ahead. Any questions?
Oh, does anyone want to do the agreement drill with me?
Anybody? Bueller? I'll go with you.
Okay. Okay, so you can start, and then I'll just agree with you.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, ready.
I just don't think this is for me. I appreciate you, Sarah.
I can understand why you would say that. Would you like more detail to understand the opportunity?
No, I just got a lot on my plate right now.
Okay, I'll understand completely. I hope that your schedule gets unbusy, and I will reach out to you in a couple of months.
You gave up on me.
I did?
Yep, you gave up on me. You gave up on me. So, you know what? This is the thing, and this is what you do. Keep it real simple, because the more verbiage you use when you're going through this drill, okay, the worse you make it on yourself. Take it in degrees. So if you say, hey, if I say, look, I got too much on my plate, I can understand why you would say that. Okay? And so that's how the drill works. And so I give you another one, and then you say, you come back with 1 or 2 or 3 word answers, or 1 or 2 or 3 word agreements or whatever. I totally get it. 100%. I understand how you feel. And just and you just keep on going that way. So now what happens is, once you hit that first layer, it just giving an answer. It's kind of like when you, like, people who are very shy and introverted, how you teach them talk. When they meet somebody brand new, basically when they're walking down the street, just teach them to make eye contact and nod first, right? That's nonverbal. You just like, that's how you're doing, right? And then after a while, it's like actually say, hey, how you doing? And you keep walking, right? And then after that, you're able to actually now have a conversation with the form technique. Or are you actually able to give a person, hey, how you doing? Nice hat, or nice shirt, or nice shoes, and keep on walking. And you take it in degrees. So when you go back and study the agreement drill in its entirety, and you see the layers in it, it'll take you from 100% and just sit on it. And that get that discipline in your spirit first. Oh, totally get it. A lot of people say that. I understand. You don't say, whatever it is, just, and then, when you go back and say, you know what, take it to the next level. I understand exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. I understand why you would say that. You're not the first person to ever say that. Look, you're a busy professional just like me. I get it. But one thing about this is that the system takes care of us not having time. And then you just start layering your responses, on top of it as you continue to grow into it. And so that's what I want you to do, Sarah. When it comes to the agreement drill, go back and find that, master that part. Because when you take it and processes, like in the process, a little bit extra and all the way, it's a wrap.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And you got that, though. You understand what I was saying?
Yeah, start off small to build your confidence and then drill in the details so that it smooths itself out.
There you go. And it'll all start making sense. It'll all start happening. And all of a sudden, it's like, man, you get really, really good at it, so good at it, people don't know what's happening. They don't, again, the art, guys, write this down. The art is in hiding the art. Like, you have paintings that you can't even see the strokes on, right? Then you got paintings where they intentionally let you see the strokes because they want you to see the texture, right? But when you see, like, you can't see the strokes, you can't see the art because it's in art. That's when it happens. Like I said, you come back on here and you be like, that's what Lord did to me. That's, again, the art is in hiding the art. So the art should have to be revealed to that person, once they become a part of the system. It should never be revealed to them while they're in the process. So that, again, they should never know what you're doing until they have to learn how to do it themselves. All right. Anybody else got something they want to work on today? Let me say who's next, because I know all y'all have something y'all want to work on. And even if y'all have questions, guys, about, just questions about process, a question about sales, recruiting, whatever, this is an open forum today. So
I have a question about just the PS5 and screenshots regarding Novalink in terms of how, I guess, how to work in that process as we're just launching.
Yeah. So right now, what you do is, you're going to look at, the idea of the investment club. For me, that's what it's the idea of the investment club for me. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were asking me what I do for a living. I was at a party in San Antonio. They were asking me what I did for a living. And I said, well, I actually own an investment club. We show people how to diversify their portfolios in the cryptocurrency and blockchain, smart chain environments. And so really good, fast money, solid money, and you learn about the future. And so when I'm talking about Novalink, it's not even about Novalink. It's just about that being a component. Don't give Novalink that power, right? Like I don't never ever give a company the power. That's where you get in trouble. When you start talking about how great the company is, and then something in the company happens that you can't control, that's when you end up receiving the brunt of it, right? And so put yourself in a position where the investment club is the star of the show, because it's the portfolio that holds the wealth. It's the portfolio that teaches you how to become an investor, entrepreneur, leader, all this other good stuff. But but that's not the stuff you sell up front. Just having access to an investment club that's continuing to add things in it. And the latest and greatest thing that we have right now that we're launching right away, you get a chance to be a part of it, ground floor. You get a chance to have one of the very first positions. We're first to market in the United States of America, right? And those are the type of, so it's not about the percentage of returns or stuff like that. It's about you being first. It's about, you being a part of something that's already working, something that's already growing, people already profiting from. And so then you can turn around and put it and highlight some of the things for, Novalink. You know what I'm saying? we got some stuff that's in our portfolio right now. We get 1% a day, on. We have a travel dynamic in the investment club. We have, as a matter of fact, we actually have something we're adding right now. That's real big when it comes to exchanges. We got something that we're investing in pre-bull market, and they have a coin that they're launching. Or they have a whole entire infrastructure that's set up that's prepared to blow up with a coin that they're suggesting will go anywhere from $3 to $50 a coin within the next 12-18 months. And so again, this is an investment situation that I'm excited about, because more than anything, it's a hit and hold, but you can make some money while you're holding for value. Okay, and so it's a lot of different ways that you can communicate with people about it, and the more and more you learn about it, the more and more it'll come to you. Okay, and so you'll learn how to take the percentages and use those the same way we've been using them, right? And you'll learn how to communicate about the affiliate program side of it. And as you learn, you'll continue to integrate it into the PS5 naturally and normally. But again, you want to make sure that you always put the leadership and the actual investment club, as the stars of the show. So they'll have something that's not going to go away, that they can always depend on, that'll always be there for them. And oh, by the way, we have, right? That type of thing. Good question, though. All right. Who's next? Any questions? Anybody want to work on something?
Mr. Bean, I had a question about the three-way. How do you use the three-way with the Lance Green opportunity? Once you get them, get the fact finding done, part of it.
Yeah, and so it's like when you have. So what happens is this: a person is going to tell you how it goes. It's going to go a lot of different ways, because a three-way. The first of all, guys, the premise of a three-way is not to convince anybody. The premise of a three-way is for the person who you are putting your prospect on the phone with. That person is going to validate you and what you just told them or showed them. Okay, so say, cool, if you turn on, you put Dr. Let's say Dr. Marika on the call, and she's on the call with us on Thursday night. She got fired up. She's excited, but she just, she's too new to the space, and she doesn't have enough confidence around it. And so what you do is say, you know what, Doc, one professional I know that you like answers, and I know you like clarity. So give me one moment. Let me get those for you. And so I didn't say, give me one moment. Let me put my leader on the line. I said, give me one moment. Let me put those for you. Right. Let me get that for you. Put that in clarity for you. So I'm going to jump on the phone. Let's say I jump on the phone with Sarah. I say, hey, Miss George. And I call her Miss George out of respect. Hey, Miss George, I got a doctor online, Dr. Mika. She's excited about the opportunity, but she has a couple of questions, or she has a couple of concerns or challenges that's holding it up. Do you have a moment? Yeah, sure. Okay. Boom. Get back on the phone with Dr. Marika. Dr. Marika, it's my lucky day. It's your lucky day as well. Guys, when you're talking about women, guys, never say young lady, and ladies, never say young lady. It's when you say young lady or young man, it's almost like somebody else, it's like you're putting somebody as your subordinate, or like they're younger, or they're less experienced. But the young man, young lady stuff, take that out your vocabulary. Okay, and so, but hey, Dr. Marika, I got a woman who's extremely successful in what we're doing. Mrs. George is basically agreed to come on the line for a second to say hello and to answer any questions that you may have, concerns that you may have about the platform. And so L. Green. And so Dr. Marika, this is Mrs. George. Mrs. George, this is Dr. Marika. I'm gonna put myself on mute. And whatever question that you have, Dr. Marika, ask Mrs. George, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up the call. And so, and that's how a three-way is done. So when Ms. George get on the call, she's gonna say, hey, let's say, hey, Dr. Marika, what did you like best about what you heard? Okay, because she's not gonna start talking until she knows what to talk about. Okay, And that's a lot of people get on the calls, they just start talking. They just start, rambling about what's important to them or what they like, they love. And none of that applies to Dr. Marika in the situation. And so she's just listening to somebody rambling that's supposed to be an expert. And now you just wasted her time and you just blew the moment. Okay. And so when Dr. Marika says, you know what, I see a way for me to retire early. I can cut more time, get more of my time back. If I'm making more money, I'll have to work in the hospital, emergency rooms for 60 hours a week. I can do 30. That's what I'm looking for, so I can spend time with my kids. And, then that's when Mrs. George knows exactly what to say exactly what to address, rather. And so, you know what, I understand. I have a lot of people who feel the same exact way. And that's why a lot of people diversify and invest, because they do want to live, the rest of their life on a high level with the ones they love and not have to work every day. So I get it. So and then at that point in time, she's going to go into, how much money would that actually be, to get you from 60 hours to 30 hours, right? And okay, well, great. If you can do this, X, Y, and Z, if you can follow a simple set of instructions, Dr. Marika, without deviating from the plan, and you do this, you should get this, okay? No guarantees, can't promise you anything, but this is what should happen, okay? Company does their thing, you do yours. This is what should happen. And guess what, Doc, if you need me for anything, 𝐍𝐎𝐓 knows how to get in touch with me, okay? If you need me for anything, 𝐍𝐎𝐓 knows how to get in touch with me. He has the green light to call me, no problem, because we want to make sure you're comfortable. We want to make sure that you get everything you need to be successful in the process, okay? And so 𝐍𝐎𝐓 is more than capable, to addressing anything. And if anything he doesn't know or can't help you with, that's what I'm here for. And so it was a pleasure meeting you. Look forward to working with you. And that's kind of how a three-way goes. And so when you look at what Mr. George does, she's putting the power back on you, 𝐍𝐎𝐓. She's basically saying, listen to 𝐍𝐎𝐓. He's been a part of the system. And she's not going to say that if you don't plug in. She's not, if she has integrity, she won't say that. Now, if it's somebody if it's somebody I know that don't plug in, that's when I'll say, you know what, look, I see extreme value in the person. That's when I say, you know what, this is what we'll do, 𝐍𝐎𝐓. Let's exchange numbers. Okay, give me your number. I'm gonna text you mine. Okay, and I can create some time where I can get I can help you out with this thing and help you launch it and help Sarah with you in this process, because she's brand new and she doesn't know 100% of everything, but she's plugging in to the extent of what she's learning. Okay, I'm not going to de-edify her, but I'm not going to give her power. I'm not going to give her the power to mess your life up. Okay, because now we both lose credibility. If I endorse her as somebody who's an expert and who's killing it, and she's not, and you get started and you lose money, or basically you don't get the help that you need, then neither one of us can be trusted, myself or Sarah, right? And so I only endorse on a high level because edification comes in degrees, right? And levels. There's levels to it. I'm here to help Sarah because she just got started, okay? And so if a person is not plugging in, I'm here to help them because, again, I want to make sure that everybody who they do business with knows exactly how to build this platform. I never said one time that she didn't know. I just said, I want to make sure. This is where you adopt, people. This is where you indirectly recruit a person, right? Sarah's still going to maintain sponsorship of you, but I'm going to take responsibility of it because she's a part of my portfolio. Okay? And so even if she's not the person that I really need her to be, and she puts me on the phone with you, you may be the person who I want to work with and the person who I can build something special around, and she still benefits from it because it's under her and her portfolio, right? Because I'm always looking for, remember, and this is the thing, guys, this is why you want to do three ways, with everybody, because normally the person who you sponsor is not your superstar. But this is what's happening. You're losing your superstars by default because you're letting people who are not qualified to work with them, work with those people who are prospect and present to those people who are value. They never get started. You're letting some unqualified people, be responsible for those people. So for me, I'm gonna dig deep. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna get down in the trenches. I'm gonna get way down in depth and I'm gonna find 2, 3, 4 levels deep if I have to, somebody in that leg of business, somebody in that specific portfolio that I can work with, because when it's down here and I'm working with it and it's growing down here, it's growing. Everybody up here feels it. Everybody up here benefits. And guess what happens? Everybody up here, from here to here to where it blew up at, everybody up here is now starting to get it. Like, man, I'm missing money. I need to be on the Millionaire Mindset call. I need to be on Crash Camp. I need to be doing the system. I need to be. And why is Mr. Bean edifying, 𝐍𝐎𝐓? And I'm the one sponsoring 𝐍𝐎𝐓, right? And so all of a sudden, she's like, oh, what is he doing that I'm not? And then when she hears my edification of me, and she hears me talk about how you follow the system, how you plug in, and I never have to tell Sarah what she's not doing directly. Right? And so I'm telling her indirectly, right? I speak in third person more than anybody you'll ever meet in your life. That's where most people who hear me speak, they think I'm talking about them 100% of the time. So I'm talking about somebody. It just may not be your day, but I'm like, Pastor Show was preaching to me, but it's something, you're gonna get it, right? So, but that's how you do. That's the 3 ways, because people don't. That's where you make the money at, and that's where Sarah should be listening the most and learning the most. If I'm talking to you on Sarah's behalf, this is where she should be listening to most. This is where I recorded all my 3 ways and lifelines that was done for me, because I wanted to learn the magic. I wanted to understand why everybody I put on a 3-way with this person never ever quit. It's the people who I got started and I work with directly who quit, right? Just telling you, because that person was attached to me and my results because I never put them on the phone with a leader. Okay, so if they're attached to me and my no sponsoring self, my no building self, my no following, no jumping on calls, no plugging into the system self, they're gonna do the same exact thing I do, or they're gonna see me as a fraud and they're gonna quit. Either way, it's not gonna be good for them. But if I put them on the phone with an expert that's helped other people make a ton of money, they feel like they can attach themselves to somebody and learn from somebody and spite you. And that's what, again, that's what I say, people who do 3-way phone calls, they not only have the most solid and secure money, right? They actually have the bigger and faster groups growing. And when it comes to growth, they have the biggest and the fastest growing groups because everybody is following that process. Same process. Show me a person who does a lot of 3 ways versus a person who doesn't, and I can show you a big disparity in results. Big, huge, gaping disparity in the results. So that 3-way, master that every step you get. Good question. Oh, by the way, the lifeline, just so y'all know, and this is just a little add-on to it, a little bonus on that one. Lifelines and 3-ways are different. 3 ways come before they get into business to validate what they just heard and that they have support. Lifelines is after they get started, right? And now, let's say you got somebody started, but they hadn't done a 3-way. That's when you go back and say, hey, 𝐍𝐎𝐓, I want to since now that you got started, you want to get to you want to get to your goals fast or slow? Oh, fast. Okay, well, great. I got a person I want to introduce you to who's going to help you, put your growth on steroids. Okay, he's one of my senior partners, and I'm going to introduce you to him. So boom. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to call Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓. Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓, I just got 𝐍𝐎𝐓 started. He's excited. And he loved the fact that he can make 1% a day on his money. And I just wanted to introduce him to one of his senior partners. And so when I do that, I introduce him to, my senior partner. What happens is now he knows it's bigger than just me and him. He knows we're not alone. Whether he believes in me or not, whether you believe in me or not, we're not alone. And now what Jacques does is he comes in and he says, you know what? Welcome to the family, 𝐍𝐎𝐓. Glad to have you on board. Looking forward to working with you and doing some big things with you. And then he's going to also ask, well, when you saw this opportunity, what made you want to get started? What made you pull the trigger? And then when you tell him, again, he understands that now he knows how to motivate you, move you, address you, how to help you, right? And so, well, look, I know you said you want to make $10,000 a day. If I could show you how to get there overnight almost, what you want to know? Yeah, okay, well, great. This is what I suggest you do. We all, and I like saying this, we all get on the Millionaire Mindset call every Monday night because this is what we had, the person who's made millions of dollars, not just for herself, but for other people, teaching millionaire mindset, concepts and things like that on how to go ahead and build big portfolios. So we're all on that. And then also, a lot of people have a fear of speaking and talking to other people, and they don't know how to. And so on Saturdays, we have the crash camp. Okay. And so you learn your skill sets on how to close, how to talk, how to open, whatever it is that you need. Those two things, okay, outside of whatever else Sam is going to teach you, those two things you want to commit to if you want to get to $10,000 right away. So Jacques as my senior partner, okay, when I introduce him, Mr. Senior partner, 𝐍𝐎𝐓 has respect for him, third party, right? And so indirect, third party. And when Jacques gives 𝐍𝐎𝐓 instructions or suggestions, who do you think he's going to take the suggestions from more seriously? From me or from Jacques, right? From Jacques. Again, that's why you have to do 3 ways and lifelines. That third-party credibility after you edify the person is huge, okay? And so that lifeline, again, it helps a person, also protects a person, because when a person gets started, you have some people they try to talk to about the business or about the investment, and the person gets real negative. That's one negative person. But I'm working with 2 positive people. Jacques, Jacques, I know you said it may not work, but I just spoke with Jacques, and Jacques said he's going to help me. So I appreciate your concern, but I'm going to go ahead and continue to roll with Jacques and with 𝐍𝐎𝐓, Jacques and with Sam. And so I appreciate you. And then you go to the next person. So that lifeline just fortified, 𝐍𝐎𝐓. So when something goes bump in the night or something, he hears something negative, he has reinforcements because he's not alone. And he is on a millionaire mindset call where he has bigger thinking, but he also sees way more people. And he's on a crash camp, but he's also, so he's seeing people who believe as opposed to people who don't. Okay? And so it's a healthy offset. All right. So Ms. Johnson.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bean. I'm never going to give up an opportunity to pick your brain. So, Mr. Bean, like you just said, when I was new, I would run into a negative person and it would shoot me down, and it would slow me down because I was hesitant to go on to the next person. Could you speak for a moment on how to build up that law of averages, that ratio, that I know you love Mr. Jim Rohn, but especially to the new person, how to make that a science in their brains, so to speak, about ratios, averages, and numbers.
Yeah. And so when you look at what you said earlier, goes back to, it starts with again, you creating your own objections, right? And so most people, when they actually enroll in programs with affiliate programs and network marketing companies or investment platforms, passive platforms, they already have in the back of their mind that this may fail. It's already there. Like I said, trust me, people who are new to it and this is their first time and they find themselves wanting to talk to somebody about it, they're scared to talk to people based on their own fears, right? Some past trauma, indirect and direct, what they've heard, from different situations. So that's what they're dealing with, the baggage that comes from what they've heard or what they've experienced. And so, or how they were raised, right? And so that's the thing, you have to take accountability. When you're inviting somebody in, kind of, you can't, what's the word I'm looking for? Dr. Arlene, you know what I'm talking about. You can't, when you looking at a person, you're taking their symptoms, you diagnose a person. You can't diagnose a person, right? But you can figure out what's going on and where their level of belief is when you're having conversations with them, right? And so you got a brand new person, figure out how big they really believe, but also talk more about their goals, talk more about their dreams, and really come up with a plan to help them. And the most important plan, that, again, and go back, this is the thing that helps fortify a person's confidence, in the platform, even before they believe themselves, is them being in the system. So it's like a church. Like churches, a lot of churches won't go out of business, if they have proper leadership, because they keep you in church. Not just Sunday. They got something going on every day in church, 4 or 5 days a week. Usher board meetings, choir practice, deacons meetings, everybody's got meetings, and they keep you, busy in the church. They keep you busy, keep you busy, so it's a cycle. Right? And so when you put a person in the system, right? When you put a person in the system and they start to see, they start to hear, they start to understand, they start to be, it empowers them. Okay? That's the power of the system. So, but when it comes to numbers, if you're going through, like we have those calling parties. You have the calling parties, guys. You actually get a chance to watch them go through the invites, positions. You get a chance to address some things and teach them some things, and get a chance to reinforce some things and continue to celebrate them on their small win. And that's, you just want to be there nurturing them and building them up while they're going through that process, or while they're growing through that process. Okay? And so, because this is the person who you don't know how they're built, emotionally, so you don't know what can take them out. And so when you go through that process and you start having conversations and questions, you start to see who you're dealing with. And it's also just asking, just asking specific questions to get specific answers. Hopefully that took care of that for you.
Thank you. Yes, sir, it did.
All right, let's see here. All right, guys, we're in the final stretch. Any other questions? Anybody wants to work with anybody on anything? And by the way, so right now, guys, also, since y'all are here, the leaders, if you haven't got your link yet, when it comes to those of you who are running with us on Novalink, Fund Smart Chain, get with your leaders right away, because we want to make sure you guys are part of the launch. I know 𝐿𝐲 is doing a call today for his team, so he's going to address a couple of things with them on SCF, and then he's going to let them know that they are going to diversify. And he's going to do his big call on Monday. So today is just kind of like his leaders, and then Monday he's going to do a call where he's going to invite his whole entire team. And so right now we're ahead of the curve. We basically, all you guys are aware of what's going on. We've always set out to diversify, and so he has to handle it in a different manner, because they were focused on one company, and so he literally has to address it differently. So get positioned again, because you don't know who's going to end up being. If they're building it properly, if you're somebody who can come in and get yourself positioned and go to work, you can actually have some things put beneath you as well. So, but take your position, get yourself activated, and then duplicate. Get with your leaders right away to make sure you have an understanding of what this is. If you haven't seen a presentation, go into the SCF group and on Facebook, watch that presentation. Is on there, and you'll know exactly what we're doing. But I can tell you that I am extremely excited about it when it comes to the back door of it. There's a lot of things that I see in this one that I didn't see in the other ones, and I do see more long-term situation in this one, even though I can't speak to it. But the one thing that I can share with you guys is this: when it comes to exchanges, it comes to wallets and holders. When you go back to the presentation, you'll hear the question that I asked Paul about the wallets and the holders. Well, us in SCF, again, we understand that it's a centralized situation. It always has been. And we also understand that even though they have a ton of wallets out there, they don't have any holders, which means that the liquidity, which is not locked, can move at any time. Okay. And so when you look at this new platform, you look at Novalink, that platform has 81% of the liquidity locked, which means it can't be touched, can't be moved. and they have 19,000 holders, not wallets. Okay? There are more wallets out there, but holders, people who actually have a stake in the company, like myself, and other people who actually have bought into it, invested into it. So that's one of the things that I like from a transparency, a security, and a peace of mind and comfort for me as a leader. That's why, one of the things I settled on, one of the reasons why I settled on it. Also, like in SCF, how, when they ran the lending, program, and then they turned around and ran the staking programs, those funds were used to build the community, to build the infrastructure, right? And launch their coins and launch their processes. Well, with, Novalink, it's done in reverse. They already have their infrastructure built out. They didn't need our money to do it, right? They already built it out. They already have their platforms. They already have access. They've already gained access to different things. And so kind of give you an idea, like the Rose Swap, and that's their, it's kind of like Pancake Swap, Uniswap, right? Peer-to-peer, centralized, that's already in place. And we didn't have to fund it, right? So, because anytime our money went to nodes, it was because of funding. We funded something for the company, okay? High Swap is cross-bridge transaction, between different blockchains. That's already in place. It's already live, already working, right? They already did that. They don't need our money to do that, right? And so they already have their play to earn game. They already have things that are like on the secondary market, part of BitGet already. You got other markets that they're going to be joining as well. So they are already in place. They already got their house in order. Kind of like women, when y'all go and look for a man and go, hey, look, let me see, what your credit look like? Check. Okay. And what that income look like? Check. All right. I need to meet your mama and see if I can live the rest of my life with your mama, because all right, check, let's get married, right? And so that's kind of how that works, what I mean? So this is a situation where the first company, it was a hot chick. And say we went on a hot date, and we got in over our head, right? And so this one right here, this is more long term. This more wife material, more husband material, right? This checks all the boxes. It's not as it's not boring, but it's not as exciting. But it gets the job done, and you can sleep at night. Okay, and so that's the thing. The more and more, that's what I tell you. Learn from every project, right? You're not just in these projects to make money. You're in these projects to make a difference. You got to learn why each and every last one. Because when you're in one project, you know what to look for in another, right? So when we left Novatech, we never went to another one like Novatech, because we understood that we didn't control anything, and we understood what it was, right? And so coming over to SCF, totally different, right? Bigger scale, more things happening, more bells and whistles. But again, we got a chance to learn a lesson that when they talked about how many wallets they had as a sales, mechanism to give you a sense of comfort, like they can't move money without, all these other wallets, having a say so. Yeah, that's what they sold us. They got us from that perspective. Now, this one, it's all open, it's all transparent, and we know where to go look for it. That's the most important thing. And again, ave.ai, they show you everything. And then with Bielsen, the auditing company, that's an actual true. Now you can go look that up as well. Bielsen is the auditing firm. Like when we were launching, SCF, they said Certec was the auditing company, and it wasn't. Okay, but Bielsen is bona fide, verified, bona fide and verified, the actual auditing company for Novalink and with SCF for Fund Smart Chain. So all the things that we were lacking, all the things that we were missing, and all the things we needed to know, we know. And that's why it took us so long, because we needed to make sure we get all the boxes checked. Okay. And so that's going to give us, again, the ability to build something, special in something over time, while Novatech does what they do. And these are on another exchange, right? Not just NASDAQ, but on some of these, because NASDAQ doesn't do anything for me. It's the Binances and all the rest of these secondary markets and things that they can get part of, become a part of. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting on, because I know that when that happens, the coin will do what it's supposed to do, and we'll go back to making what we're supposed to make. So, but this is why you diversify, right? But again, whatever questions that you actually have, guys, make sure you guys get the answer when it comes to Novalink. Let's see here. Oh, question from Carla. What is the best way to ensure to keep our prospects emotionally attached to their financial goals? One, make sure that they have their goals in front of them all the time. That's one thing. Personal accountability is one thing, and then knowing what those goals are and continuing to keep them in a process of like towards accomplishment. You're their accountability partner. That helps out a lot. So like for me, it's like losing while we had downtime, while we were waiting and vetting companies, I said, this is a very, very good time for me to make sure I get my health right and start working out, start eating. And so when it comes to moments where I want to have something heavy, my wife says, hey, that's not your goal, right? That's going to get you further away from your goal. And I have cravings, man. I'm telling you. And when she cooked, it don't make it any better because she can cook. Again, you don't get this structure built, on lean food, on good non-spice. This is a spice up in here. Like, so she is that person. She's my accountability partner, and when it comes to my goals. And so, and she compliments me a lot. She encourages me a lot. And she does her part, like I was at the restaurant the other day. I just pulled up, and she called me, and I said, "Well, hey, if you peel me a cup of grapefruits, I'll come home. I won't eat here. Just I'll peel you a cup of grapefruits." So I left the restaurant and went home, right? And so, and again, I lost 2 pounds that day, right? But again, it's that you got to do the same thing for them because they are important to you. Remember, once you enroll somebody, they are your responsibility, right? Remember, you're not here to make money on people, right? You're here to help people make money. That happens by default. So anything Laura needs, if I'm sponsoring Laura, anything Laura needs, I'm gonna make sure Laura gets it, right? And I'm gonna have those phone calls. I'm gonna have those text messages. We're gonna be in communication on a regular basis. Communication, Carla, is the key. Always stay in communication with people who, remember, and the very first days, some of y'all sponsor people and leave them to their own devices. Like you sponsor a person and get excited because you sponsor somebody, and then you don't teach them anything. You go off the run and try to sponsor the next person. Okay. Well, one, you want to learn how to be present when a person first gets started. When a person is there, you can take them through the system, and then you stay there with them, not necessarily give them 100% of your time. You stay there with them indirectly, a lot, directly, a little. Follow up, follow through. Are you doing this? Are you doing that? What do we need to do this today? Are you staying online with what we gave you as far as your process? And then while I'm doing that, I'm still calling, Carly. I'm still calling Joe. I'm still calling Rich, and I'm still calling other people. But I'm still making sure Laura is taken care of. Okay, because Laura is important because Laura is in the business. Rich is not in the business already. Joe is not in the business already. But I'm calling Jacques because I want him, to be a part of the portfolio. But Laura is still more important than Jacques because Laura is in the business already. This is a very bad habit of people in the industry, right? When you personally put a person in the business, if you don't, again, take this away from this thing, people are not dollar signs. Okay, people are, again, don't put yourself in a position where when you think about a person, you think about how much money you're gonna make. Think about how much good you can do. Think about being there for somebody who may not have ever had anybody there for them in their life, to teach them or help them with anything, support them with anything. That person may be the person who has put everybody on their back and has been bearing the load of everybody else's weight, and they just need somebody to help them. You don't know what people are going through. You have no idea, right? but you know for a fact that you can be that for that person if you so chose to. Just be the best sponsor that you can be, and then after that, go be better. That's how you get a person beyond their goals, beyond their dreams, and you put that person in a position where they'll go out there and do the same exact. They'll duplicate that spirit, they'll duplicate that mentality down into the group. So good question, Carla. All right, let's see here. Okay, good. Thank you, Laura. Laura need to tell everybody what to do on that. That's what I'm saying. Put them in all caps. That's what I'm talking about. So, all right, we got anything else as we wrap it up? I know we're nearing the top of the hour. Yeah, it's 9:53. We got a couple more minutes. Yeah, if you guys got, we got two hands. Let's see. And then Sarah.
Thank you so much for everything that you're feeding to us today. My question is, we make a cold call to an individual, and we still go through that PS5 process with them because we have to build a relationship with them. But what process or steps should we take when calling a cold call, or making a cold call?
That's definitely going to be more Grant Cardone than me because I'm not a cold caller. From a standpoint, if I'm calling somebody that I don't know, that's something totally different. Now, if I call somebody that I have a business card for and I don't know who they are, I'm okay with that part. But cold calling, I don't want to teach you a lie. But what I do want to do is this: when you are calling, somebody cold call, you still should know who that person is. You still should know how you're going to add value in that person's life and what you bring to the table, because the number one goal is to keep them on the phone. And then the only way you can do that is by adding value. And the only way you can add value is by knowing what's valuable to them. And so if I'm calling anybody cold call, I'm doing some research and homework on them. So by the time I do get them on the phone, I can express, the value that I bring to the table and still at that same point do the PS5 process. Because the PS5 is always going to be, the foundation of it. And so if I call you and then I get your attention, okay, and then all of a sudden I say, hey, look, I just sent you something, on your email, check it out, or and your email is still, because I did my research, your email is still, yeah, okay, I just sent you some on your email, check that out, and okay, well, good. So what you're looking at right now is my weekly returns, and so or my daily returns or whatever it is. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, from a business owner perspective, if you're calling a company or a small business, mom and pop shop, a lot of people are using alternative investments to keep their doors open. A lot of people are using it as alternative investments to expand their current companies, or a lot of people are, using these type of investments to, buy their way out of their businesses or whatever it is. You want to go back to what's valuable for them and how what you have can help them get to their goals. But also being able to fact find while you're, be good at fact finding while you're on that cold call. I know Grant has a lot of good stuff on that. And so I definitely want you to dive into that. That way you can bring some value back here and kind of let us know what you learned.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll do that. Thank you.
Man. All right. Let's see here. Ms. George, little sister.
So I was actually going to ask the same question, but now I'll just refine it a little bit. So I was going to run an email campaign. Is there anything I should be wary of and anything I should make sure to add when it involves the investment club?
I've never run an email campaign. I've never run an email campaign, to be honest with you. So I mean, that's just one of the things I can't give you any advice on that. That would be horrible leadership, because at that point in time, I'm just guesstimating at that time, and really, because again, for me, emails are so impersonal. To me, it's just a huge detachment. People don't even go to emails, and it's like a flyer. You put it on somebody's car, and I see it as something that may irritate me more than help me. So if I see like you come to you got a business card or a flyer or some kind of little And it's like, you take it, look at it, glance at it, you throw it away, you litter. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good person, you take it, you throw it in your car, and you're mad because you got to put it in your car and throw it away when you get home. You know, so I'm more of the go find the people, you know, and find a way to communicate with them verbally, because text messages and emails are all subjective, and it's without a reason to really read it. Most people don't. And so I find it's been in the past, you know, for me, it's been more of a source of frustration than and hope than something that is actually duplicatable and something that you can build something around. Not saying that you can't, because I know Grant has some things that are available, you know, and that's for the person who's in that space. If you can master that space, that'd be great. Because again, I'm quite sure you're not the only person who wants to run campaigns like that. Also, on that's a great question for you to ask Monday through Friday. Okay, and so that's important. Like same thing with you, Leslie. Get in, ask a question, because when you got the experts, those guys, they do deal with email campaigns, text message campaigns, and all that other good stuff for Grant Cardone. So Monday through Friday, I would definitely find a moment where you can get in there and ask that question, and get the answer that you really do need to have.
Okay, can I ask another question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if you were me and you were fresh out of college with like not a large network, how would you build your list to
You
get
have a huge network. You have a huge network. You went to school with a lot of students who have parents who thought enough about them to make sure they got to college. That's your network. Not the students, the parents of the students. That's what I mean. That's first. Those are people who you already have a, you know, direct or indirect third party or real close or some, you know, some kind of connection to where they can remember you, remember a moment, you know, or whatever it is. Go through all those. I had a young man who was fresh out of high school. He's 19 years old, and he's one of my top earners because I taught him how to get to the parents and not to his friends. Like you're not gonna make any money, you know, in coffee with your 19-year-old buddies who just graduated high school with you. And so he turned around and he put the focus on his family and his mom and dad's friends, and eventually got his dad started. His dad is still doing over $500,000 in sales, you know, in the coffee company that I make money off of, but it wouldn't have happened had he talked to his friends. So he talked to all of his parents' friends, and he talked to all his parents' friends. He talked to all his friends' parents, and so that's, again, that third party connection is amazing. And then outside of that, you know, I would be very, very aggressive on social media from a standpoint of meeting people. I would take social media over email 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know, I would follow people. You know, I would go and join groups, you know, on Facebook that have everything to do with entrepreneurship and sales. You know, I would comment on people's stuff, you know, to create visibility for myself and create awareness that somebody is on my post, liking my post, and they do it a lot. Or somebody's on my giving really good constructive feedback or endorsements on my post, and that this person is cool. I don't even know who this person is, but so you start making your presence, you know, known in groups, and presence known in people's, you know, social media feeds, you know, and then you double back and hit them up, you know, double back and, you know, communicate with them, you know, via messenger, you know, or the inbox or stuff like that. So those two things are what I would do right away. And then the third thing is the form technique, learning that form technique so you can now meet people and talk to people anywhere they have people. So anywhere you go, you can actually have a conversation with people about what you actually do, and figure out if they're a good fit for what you have in your portfolio. So those would be the three places that I would start. You know, again, friends of parents. But your mom is already in, so you can't hit her friends up. But so but parents of your friends, social media, and then the form technique.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, guys. So that's how we ended with a bang. All right, it's 2 after the hour. Appreciate you guys hanging around here and dealing with little old me. You know, I don't take this stuff for granted, guys, that you can be anywhere doing anything for on your Saturday morning. I know a lot of y'all out there, there's some people who didn't make it because they're out there shopping for Christmas, right? And so, yeah, or they're out there getting a massage or whatever they're doing. But this is the type of work that you put in when you want to be rich and wealthy. These are the type of sacrifices that pay you, you know, in the long term, because the information that you got today is not just for what we do, it's for what you do too. This is about life. And again, just become a 7-figure person. And at some point in time, the money has to follow. Okay. Become a 7-figure person. Don't worry about the 7-figure bank account. Remember, Jim Rohn, like she says, I love me some Jim Rohn. Become a millionaire because of the person that you have to become to obtain $1 million. You have to evolve. You have to grow. You can't become a millionaire without growth. You can't. Skipping the process is not something that you're going to be able to do if you want to make a 7-figure income. Okay. And so I appreciate you guys again. See you guys back here next week, same time. Oh, well, yeah, same time and more people. Bye, guys.
Recording stopped.